Lesson 5.1, Congruence and Triangles. Question, are the triangles below identical? What we call congruent in geometry, so that they look exactly alike, but they've been flipped or turned or something. Why or why not? Right now, we don't know. Unless we see things like this. Those angles congruent. Those angles are congruent. And those angles are congruent. And now we still don't know because we've only got 3 angles. Now we've got 3 sides also. So now we know they're congruent. And we always write congruent like that, saying these 2 triangles are the same shape. If they were numbers, we'd say they're equal. If they're shapes, we say they're congruent. It's a little thing, but it's just the way us geometry geeks talk. So how much information is there? Well, we just saw 6 pieces, of which 3 are angles, 3 are sides. So when we say corresponding parts, we mean that triangle A, B, C is congruent to triangle D, E, F. Corresponding parts are parts that match up. And by match up, I mean, if you look at the way we wrote it, angle A is congruent to angle D. Angle B is congruent to angle E, and so on and so on. We could even say angle side AB and side DE are congruent. AB and DE, they are congruent. So we have all these pieces of information we can pull just from simply writing the congruence a certain way. As an example, I didn't give you a picture. I gave you 2 triangles that are congruent. Now your job is to say what angles and sides match up. You can pause the recording and try it on your own, or I'll do it for you. In this, we know angle P is congruent to angle G. Angle Q is congruent to angle H. Angle R is congruent to angle J. And side PQ, we actually put the segment notation above it, is congruent to segment GH or side GH. PR is congruent to GJ. QR is congruent to HJ. And that's it. We could write these backwards. We could write HJ is congruent to QR. We could also write JH is congruent to QR, or JH is congruent to RQ. Sides are the same no matter which letter I put first. We're going to avoid all that as best we can. We're going to try and stick with these notations that match up, so it makes our lives a lot easier when we check what we're doing. Now, looking at these triangles, write what parts are congruent. Then stop and write the whole triangle congruence. So I'm just going to do this. You might want to pause the recording and do it yourself. Angle L is congruent to angle Z. Angle M is congruent to angle X. Angle N is congruent to angle Y. While I'm at it, LN, that's an angle N, is congruent to ZY. MN is congruent to XY, and LM is congruent to XZ. Now, when I do this and write down the triangle congruence, I just use the angles. So LMN is congruent to triangle ZXY. L as a single, Z as a single, M as a double, X as a double, N as a triple, Y as a triple. Looks like we got it right. So that's it, just matching up parts, making sure you're happy with everything. Good luck.